And one. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream.
Is it working?
Is it working? Is it live?
It's working. We're going live.
It's working.
Okay.
Hello.
Yay! We are here. We are live. I am so sorry about
There's
being
a
a few minutes
bubble
late.
that says HuniCast.
Does it? Yeah, it does. That's right. I got that thing working and all set up now. This isn't a disaster immediately already. It's fine. Somebody already posted a picture on Twitter of me just looking super fucking done. And it's just like, same shit as always.
Yep.
Well, already a fucking disaster at the beginning with technical difficulties, but we are here. We did it. We lived. And we are alive.
We're alive.
We're alive.
And we have a special guest here that you can hear in the background. We'll
We
introduce them in a
do.
sec, maybe.
All right, so for anybody who is new here, hi, welcome to HuniCast. We've got a few guests with us today. We have Dave, the elf man, voice of elf, apparently, according to a lot of people when they saw the thumbnail. He is not. He is just a huge elf enthusiast.
I just realized I forgot that I changed for a joke my Discord icon to my face covered in fake blood, and now that's just displayed to everybody.
That's just what
So-
everyone's gonna see.
Mhm.
I mean, fucking Michael's icon is a crying cat. So,
Yeah, and
you
it's
know.
always going to be a crying cat.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we have
I-
Dave, the writer of Has Been Hotel, the
Yay.
talky funny man. We have Ed, the voice of Alastor, that nobody cares about.
It's not like everybody was complaining last time about him not being there in a lackadaisy stream.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at fucking all. And then we have Michael, the voice of Angel Dust, and we have Krystal and special surprise guest Chris. You
Howdy.
might know Krystal as the voice of Cherry Bomb, and you might know Chris as a completely non-has-been character, the voice of Frieza from Dragon Ball.
We're quarantined together. Send help.
You
Yeah.
have
Chris is
quarantine
actually
party.
Chris is actually my real life father, as a matter of fact. So
It's very true.
we haven't talked in a while, but this is a
I
nice
know,
reunion.
and it's completely my fault. I've been really busy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
so
holed
glad
up
I
in
could
a-
bring you together.
He went to go get some cigarettes, and then he was
Ended
in
up getting a
Texas.
transplant.
That's why you should never smoke, kids.
You know how like they do that bit where it's like, oh, dad's going to get milk and he'll be back. What if like 20 years later your dad did come back, but he came back with just like 100,000 gallons of milk, and he was like, I just needed a lot.
I just
And then when
couldn't
he
help it.
And then when he gets back
like,
with all the milk and
like-
says he still doesn't love you.
Holy shit.
And by that point, all the fucking milk is, like, rotten, too.
Yeah, it's all
Spoiled.
spoiled.
It's all gone bad.
I feel like that would be like the end of a movie where like if they talk about the dad going out to get milk and like at the end he comes back, he's like, son, I raised a dairy farm. It's yours now.
Post credit scene.
I leave this vast amount of cow-based wealth to you.
Exactly.
This movie is called Dairy Dad.
That's the movie we need.
Movie.
All right, Dave, I have a screenplay idea. Let's do it.
Dairy
Yeah,
Dad?
great.
Dude, let's get Dave
Yeah.
on board as the writer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Considering I came up with the bit, probably yes.
No, we came up with it first. We're
Yeah, no,
taking
it's
full
our
creative
it's
control.
our stream, so it's our idea. Like anything you
Oh
guys
yeah,
say.
every single bit I do on here is now your intellectual property.
Dave, you haven't
Yeah.
trademarked anything. We have the power.
It's on my YouTube channel, so you know.
Okay, now I'm just gonna have to be as edgy as possible. To
No,
ruin your
wait,
career.
no. I don't want to own that. I take it all back. But all right, Michael, did you say you had to pee, or are you gonna decide to hold it?
I'm gonna try to hold it.
All right, cool.
We're gonna keep the show going for a
As
little while.
as we're setting up and trying to get ready, Michael's over here like, all right, I know we're about to start, but I might have to leave to pee. And I'm like, you have been awake for
It's not
hours.
number one.
Oh no, you've been awake for. You always have to shit, like all the time, especially when
Oh
we're
my
doing
God.
things.
You
Like-
could have said it more delicately than that.
When have we ever said anything delicately on these streams?
Fair.
True.
All
Completely
right.
fair.
So
I
hey,
cannot read this chat because it's going like
It's
50
going
miles
very
an
fast. I
hour.
think slow mode is on, and it's still going really fast.
There's over 7,000 people in chat, so there's no way you're ever gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chat is impossible to read right now.
Shout out to my moderators who are suffering right now, as I'm sure. I love you guys. Thank you.
Real quick, everybody type the boys are back in town.
No, no.
I'm gonna get so mad at you, Dave.
My moderators fucking you're now friends with a lot of them, so they love
know,
you,
that's
but
why
they
I can do
also
it.
hate you. Why do you have to be this way?
Listen, I'm trying to
Oh my
spread the
God!
word.
There's the spam.
Oh no! You can see the exact amount of delay we have between the
Listen,
stream.
Ashley, you don't understand. I had to spread the word around because guess who's back in town?
Jeez.
The boys are back.
Oh my God! It is piling on. There's a lot.
The boys
One of
are
my
back. The
all-time.
mods are
Do you
screaming.
guys know? You guys know the Twitter account Drill?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My all-time favorite tweet in the history of Twitter is from Drill. It just says, "How come there are 100,000 Christmas songs, but only one song about the boys being back in town?"
Holy shit. Oh, that's so good. Fucking Drill is a genius. Like, in my mind, there's no way he's not, like, a successful, like, writer or, like, something somewhere. He has to be
I'm
doing
sure he's
something
done other
else other than just Twitter shenanigans.
Of course, yeah.
But anyway, all right. Do we wanna satisfy the people and get into some requests here?
Yes, let me try to
Should we,
get
or should
on
we
my
just
good
keep talking?
microphone really quick.
We should just keep
I
talking
think
and
my
never get to
laptop is
requests.
done.
Is your laptop done? Are you gonna hop over there now?
Yeah,
She
she
just
just
died.
died. Yeah. Oh, she's back.
But wait, hello.
You are
Oh.
now very
Oh,
staticky.
it's so much worse.
Oh, it's so much. Oh, you're going into the void.
Okay, let me get out of the void really quick.
Okay,
that
that was
is
good.
somebody actually trying to escape the void. Is what that sounds like.
Oh, Jesus.
And they say it that calmly. Let me just get out of the void. That's-
Well, once you've been in the void for so long, you
you
lose
just
touch
become
with reality.
you become like numb to it. You've accepted the
exactly.
fact.
I have accepted the void. The void is now a part of me. But
Before we do get into requests, should we, for people that are new, specify like what's changed?
all right, yeah. For anybody who's ooh, God, it's still
No, you're still bad.
You are still within the void.
So it's like really staticky. It just sounds like you have a lot of well, I don't know how to word it, but you just sound really staticky and you're chopping a lot.
Hello, Krystal.
This is a great stream.
This is
It
turning
really
out
is
incredible.
great. All right, you might want to just jump back onto the iPad, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, the iPad might be good. Maybe the Windows update fucked something up. I mean, that's pretty common for Windows.
Good old Windows. All right.
Well, while they deal with the void, why don't we get into some?
Oh, but no, you need to explain what changed, Ashley.
Yeah, so
yeah.
for anybody who might not have been paying attention, things have changed a little bit. You can see my explanation in the description down below, but basically, we have now made requests and questions and all that free. All you have to do is respond to my post on either Twitter or Instagram about the live stream with your question or request. And for those who still want to support us, you can still support us via Streamlabs, and the top 3 donators every stream are guaranteed to have their request read. So if you would like to support us, please use Streamlabs, and if you would like a request to be read, you have a chance to do so by responding to me on either Twitter or Instagram on my posts about the live stream. So yeah. Krystal, are you good now?
I don't.
Yeah.
You seem good.
You have escaped
Are you on the
void.
iPad or are you on your computer again?
I'm on my computer, but I had to unplug my microphone and plug it back in.
Oh,
You
okay.
sound
That'll
so
do it.
Yeah, you
much
sound
better.
really
Yeah.
That's really all I did is I plugged out the interface with the little USB thing and I put it back in and then I prayed.
I mean,
That's all you
sometimes
gotta
it's
do.
just a matter of switching the USB port. It's
Yeah, I really
it makes
liked
no
that
sense,
this was
but-
like the classic Nintendo version of fixing things and
Yeah.
this brought me the smile for the day.
At least you didn't blow on the cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess we can start jumping into some of our questions and requests.
I suppose we can. Do you want to get started on that, Ashley, or would you like me to do that?
I can take a few and you can take a few. That sound good?
Sure.
Can I
we
give a
do
quick
that.
shout out to users?
Absolutely.
No.
One user named Spooky Thing who just said, "I'm having a stroke."
Spooky thing.
Yo, spooky thing, stop that. Just stop it. Don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't do that.
Just relax. Just meditate. It'll be okay.
Just listening to some healing music. That always works. All right, so first up, we've got a request from Sanja.
It's not even a request. It's a question. Actually.
Yeah, it's a question from Sanja.
Requestion.
Request. I believe it is directed at Ed, and they ask, what was the most fun about working on Doom Eternal?
Oh, that's surprisingly not a has-been question.
I know.
It's actually a good question.
It was a lot of fun. I remember so this is interesting. The game was officially announced, or at least the cast list was released on, I think it was March 18th of this year. And I booked the game on March 18th of 2019. So it was a year to the day that I could announce it. It was the hardest part was just waiting to talk about it because who doesn't love Doom? I mean, we all probably played that or Duke Nukem or some kind of early first-person shooter back in the day. So it was just really cool. Like that and Transformers, like I booked those in the same kind of time period. So to be part of franchises like that have such a legacy, it's just really cool. And then I know the Icon of Sin doesn't talk a whole heck of a lot, but just to be able to do any kind of sound or dialogue for him at all is just really cool because he is an icon in the world of Doom. And then the Marauder just pisses off all my friends because he's really, really hard to fight because he's different than everybody else. So I just really enjoy the fact that all of my friends not only now have an outlet to shoot me in the face, but also are extremely frustrated by how difficult my particular character is.
I still need to play Doom 2016. I don't do the two games
so
are they
They
connected?
do link together. They absolutely link together.
Okay, so I would have to play the 2016.
You don't have
Doom.
to, but
Okay.
you'll miss some of the nuggets, and you'll be like, "Who's this character?"
Okay. Because I do have it, I just have not touched it yet. So I'll probably have
For
to...
example, there's a character called Dr. Hayden that shows up in the first game, and his story carries over to the second game. So you could play it without that. You'll just be like, "Who's this Dr.
I'll
Hayden?"
just be like,
guy?
who is this? What are they doing? What is their lore?
Why am I going after them? Why does he seem to know?
Why
me?
does any of this matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, when Michael and I were talking about before the stream started, like, oh, we should ask Ed about Doom, we were both like, oh, we should play that so we can fucking shoot Ed in the fucking face.
It's so good. Like Doom 2016 was my favorite game of 2016, and I want to get Eternal really bad, but I've got to save up money right now because I also want to get I want to get a Switch to get Animal Crossing too. So
it's nothing but fire and brimstone and rock and roll. Like, how the fuck can you go wrong?
What,
Oh,
Animal
man,
Crossing?
everybody's going-
Yeah, Animal Crossing.
So the funny thing about those two games is when I was because I stream on Twitch for those of you that aren't aware. When I was looking at the channels that I follow of all my friends, I very quickly learned the groups that I could group people into. I had the friends that were playing Doom and the friends that were playing Animal Crossing, and it tells you everything that you need to know about your friend group.
Hell yeah!
They came out on the same day, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I can. Fucking, it was really funny, going in and seeing everybody getting their copies of, like, Doom and Animal Crossing,
Ashley,
like,
you need to
fucking
tell
early.
everyone about the experience calling GameStop.
I think I did last stream, but I'll
I know, but
say
do
it
it
again.
again. This is, they
Fucking-
haven't heard.
So I saw people getting copies of Animal Crossing early, and I was just like, well, I want in on that. I want my game, like, 5 hours before it releases. And so I was just like, well, what do I do? And I'm like, well, screw it. I'll call GameStop and just, like, ask. And I started calling, and as I was calling, I realized I hadn't prepared, like, what I was gonna say. So I was just like, all right, screw it. I'll say what I mean. And so the guy picks up and he's like, hello. And I'm like, hey, can I get Animal Crossing early? Like, no subtlety, nothing. And he was just like, there was this pause, and the entire time my anxiety is just like, oh God, oh God, oh God, I'm an asshole. And
You didn't even say please.
No, I didn't. And he was like, all right, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, not corporate approved, come and get it. And I'm like, fuck yeah, and I fucking get in the car. Just risk the coronavirus, fucking go and get my copy of Animal Crossing early. And he had Doom and Animal Crossing both out, and he was like, I don't fucking care anymore. Like, he was just done. So I got Animal Crossing early.
I
Because-
don't have a Switch, so I just kind of threw some fruit at my cat. 'Cause apparently everyone's
It's
got
close enough.
animals
That's
and
pretty
Dude,
close to the
fruit.
experience.
Dude, I don't have a Switch either. But I do remember I played the shit out of Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
I played the
So-
He
shit out of
liked the
New Leaf.
banana.
Aw.
He did. He liked the banana. I think I have a picture of him playing with the
Oh,
fruit. So
I think
I
saw
got
you
the whole
post it on Twitter.
experience already.
All right, note to self, I need to draw Atticus as an Animal Crossing villager now.
Ooh, you
There
do.
you go.
It would be so
I
cute.
That would be cute fan art if people want to do that for the fan art feature. Because
He
are we
could
still
have
doing
a
that?
little sweater because he's
Ugh,
cold.
He does have a little. Oh my god, he's been in hog heaven because of this quarantine. Because we're just always here, but like he started getting entitled, and he takes the bed from us.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is an. Oh, he's
Mom
a
and
boy.
Dad, I'm so happy you're here, but also fuck you, I'm the king.
Yes,
Yes.
and now he won't even drink. We don't even have a water bowl out for him. We don't have one because instead it doesn't matter how much water we put out, he will start crying, and he
Oh.
only drinks from the faucet because he's only going to have the running water because that's the good stuff. And he's a good boy.
You know
Aw.
they make cat water bowls that are actually like little fountains.
I have a fountain, but I didn't think that like it would get this bad, so I didn't bring it to the hotel when I visited.
Mm.
And so I'm kind of stuck with what I have. So I've got like a cat, some yoga pants, and thankfully my recording setup.
I mean, that's all you really need.
It really is.
Food. We got food.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
also important.
And
you have a
also,
good boyfriend.
is-
And I'm in tech. Yeah, I got my boy.
Yep.
So that part's been really good. And I'm in Texas, so like all the liquor stores deliver. So I'm
oh, good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, me and Ashley have been literally living off of like delivery for the past, I think, week.
There was a
Uh,
week where I tried to cook, and then I said, fuck it, and now we live off Postmates.
Oh, Postmates!
Postmates.
Yes, that's what, because we're in the hotel and not even like our stove range works. So we've got a microwave, a freezer, and a fridge. But so Postmates and Instacart is really good too. They deliver groceries so we can get produce.
Okay,
Ooh.
I've been wondering if there was like a grocery delivery
Instacart
service.
is where it's at.
Our
I
local
love-
grocery store that we usually go to does deliver to us too.
Wait, they do?
Because we're in the
Yeah,
med
they've
center-
delivered to us before.
Oh.
Because we're
Wait,
in the
they
med
have?
center. A lot
My
of there
sister
are like
ordered
2 or
from
3
them
grocery
for
stores
us.
around here that people don't remember are here. So theirs stay fairly well stocked. So we
Right.
just, Instacart it from there. or
I'm
Postmates
just
it.
afraid to
Yeah.
go sometimes.
Me too.
I'm starting actually at my old grocery store job again on Monday.
Oh
So,
boy, best of luck.
yeah.
Be careful.
The only thing that I'm feeling okay about is because I work in the butcher department. So we're behind a door, behind a block, separated from everybody else, and it's also like 20 degrees cooler than everywhere else. So I'm like, all right, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be okay. You won't have to deal
I
with
can
people.
I can stab the virus with my knives if I need to.
There you go.
Just Ninja Dave with his fucking knives fighting off coronavirus.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
Just
yeah.
me in a butcher's coat, dual wielding like oh god, what are the big ones called? Because we never use them, cleavers.
Oh.
Like
Flavors.
I feel like it would be rude not to ask, is everyone in their families okay with all this?
Yeah, we're doing okay right now.
yeah, we're okay.
I got sick for a while and it was worrying, but it turned out to be just a cold.
Oh,
Thankfully.
thank goodness.
It refused to go away for a good few weeks.
I know. I
which
was so
annoying.
scared. That's why I sent the card. I'm trying
Aw.
to get my roommate to at least text me pics of it so I can send them to you
Aw.
because I can't get back to Dallas until all of this. Because I mean, the studio's closed, court closed. There's just they just were like, crime needs to take a seat.
Dude, Krystal, I moved out of Los Angeles like
To
2 weeks ago.
Louisiana. I know. I've
Yeah,
been
back
worried.
home. And the day that I left, they locked down the state.
Jeez.
Where
So,
are
like-
you now?
Oh, I'm back in Louisiana. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
But when we stopped in Arizona in Tucson the night at a hotel just on the road trip, And I was like, all right, I have been driving all day. Let me check Twitter. And it's just like, California, shut the fuck down. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just barely got out, like, across the border. So I'm like,
Oh,
thank
goodness.
Ashley, I can't remember. Has Seattle and Washington like shut down at all?
I don't think we're shut down. Like, I haven't heard anything.
I know that
think-
Ohio's shut down now.
Yeah, I think Seattle's like. I think Seattle's like kind of under lockdown.
That's
But it's not totally
Like large events are canceled.
Yeah.
I don't know if like the
Yeah.
entire state is like just completely locked down though.
Oh my God! Speaking of events being canceled, I have a shameful fucking thing to admit. So
Okay.
I love dinosaurs like a lot. And
I have a story after you.
and I bought tickets for this animatronic dinosaur event, and yesterday I got an email saying that it was refunded, and I was like, wait, they canceled it? What? No.
She legitimately started fucking crying.
So Michael and his friends were making fun of me for being sad, and I genuinely
I thought you were
broke
like
down.
playing up a bit, but you were genuinely sad, and I felt bad.
I
You had a
broke down
tear
in
fall off your eye.
tears. I was crying.
I'm
I
sorry. I just like
would
an image
cry
of
too.
Michael going, hey, idiot, and then you're just like actually sad. Like,
I play up like being sad a lot just to fuck with Michael, and so it finally I cried wolf too many times, and he was finally just like, oh whatever, haha, fucking dinosaurs. But I was actually genuinely upset, and I broke down into tears over
Oh,
dinosaurs, and Michael was like, oh no.
No, that's legitimate. And people should. A lot of events and stuff, even in like June, are probably going to be getting canceled and stuff. And there is no shame in crying about it because you're grieving like your way of life. Where if you sign up for something, it happens.
yeah,
And
I
now
got
it's uncertainty and no shame in crying.
I got refunded because in May I was supposed to go to Monster Palooza in Pasadena, which is a horror convention.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to meet up with some friends there and like do some stuff with them, but then I just all of a sudden just got $75 back on my credit card, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's not happening.
Yeah, man, this shit sucks.
A lot
so
of events
bad.
that we wanted to do are kind of canned, and you know, it sucks. But I definitely think that we need to be safe. So it's
Yeah,
for the
it's
best.
so much more important to stay home and be safe and take care of yourself than like go out to stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Without getting, I don't disclose identities, but I am related to a lot of people who decided to go out partying and stuff to prove that this is a Libby hoax.
Oh,
And yeah, one of them is on a ventilator now. One of them is really
no.
sick at home. It's real. So stay home, and I mean, the sooner that we all just kind of lock down and stay home and take this seriously, the sooner we get back to going out and
Some semblance of
parties and
normalcy.
hugs and stuff. It's gonna happen.
People
Yeah,
in the
it will.
chat are talking about how they can't even graduate this year, or they had to
Yeah.
cancel
Yeah.
their weddings
Yeah, a
or
lot of
delay
kids
them.
can't even go to graduation.
My friend was supposed to have gotten married this weekend. I totally forgot about that, and she
Oh,
had to postpone
no.
it. Yeah.
Our niece got hit hard.
Yeah, my niece or our niece,
Well, his niece, but
your niece too. She's an amazing kid, but she had the lead in the school musical, spring musical, canceled,
Oh no.
Prom. canceled.
Oh no.
Valedictorian of her class, graduation canceled. She's still going to
Oh,
graduate
Man.
because she already has the numbers and stuff to graduate. She's already gotten like 5 full ride scholarships to colleges. I mean, she's brilliant. And when I talked to her, she said, well, because I called her to tell her how sorry Krystal and I were. And she said, well, I'm really sad that it's happening, but it's for the better. It'll keep people safe. I mean, that's the kind of kid she is. So
It's a
That's
good
the
kid.
way to
That's
think
sweet.
about it. But
Good
God,
kid.
I feel so bad for all of the high school kids, like
But
this
one
generation.
thing that I think is really awesome to see, especially with the weddings, because we have friends and stuff who had to postpone as well too. It's really nice seeing how many vendors are going out of their way to work with people that
Yeah.
have had to postpone or cancel. And like I am mentally building a coronavirus shit list against companies that are not
Same here.
being good, and it's so refreshing to see how few companies are on that shit list, because people are starting to realize that everyone's in the same boat right now. So I think that we're gonna come out of this a lot more compassionate as a whole,
Yeah.
which is never a bad thing.
One thing that I think is interesting, there's a grocery chain here in at least in Houston. I'm not sure where else. I know they're franchised elsewhere, but
Dallas somewhere.
I think they have one in Dallas. Called HEB, and
Okay.
they have been listening to the science and listening to the doctors. They have been prepping for a pandemic since 2005.
Oh wow.
They have had everything in place. They have had what they would immediately mark down because they knew people would need it. They had excess supply of all of these things that they felt like people would need. The CEO of the company, founder and CEO, said the only thing they did not expect was the run on toilet paper. He said that was the only thing. He said everything else has been manageable, and that's why their stores still have stuff. But they're a great company. They're the first, like when there are floods and stuff, to send pallets and pallets of water and pallets of ice and things that people in devastated areas will need. So
That's
so
awesome.
it's a good group of people. But that's people that listen to the science and listen to the scientists and do what needs to be done.
So wash your fucking hands.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sanitize. Make sure you're staying safe at home, and if you go
Cover
out,
your-
if you go out, make sure that you're only going out for essentials, and that you are keeping clear of people.
And the
Cover
CDC
yourself in
finally-
oil and hide in the closet.
And the CDC finally changed their minds and said you should wear a cloth mask. Just don't touch the mask.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, well, we got-
are
we-
cloth masks good now? I was hearing conflicting
Yes.
things.
Well, a homemade cloth mask, they said, can be between 50 to about 80% as effective as your standard professional N95. But in America, especially right now, the vast majority of coronavirus cases, unfortunately, are our front line, the doctors, the nurses. So it is best if they get the professional grade. And if you use a cloth one, whether you make it out of cotton, layered t-shirt material, it will protect you, and most importantly, if you are sick, it will prevent droplets from getting out into the air should you cough or sneeze. So a cloth
Okay.
mask is a-okay for us.
Yeah.
Good to
We haven't
know.
been going out, but I've got a coronavirus shield, as Krystal says. I am to the point in my recovery from the transplant that I am coughing and hacking nonstop. It's this dry, horrible sounding cough. You'll
But
probably hear it at some
It's
point.
good because it means that he's healing, and he wasn't able to cough for the first few months. So now that the lungs are healing, he's able to cough. So the doctors say you need to cough liberally and often and get them used to that. So if a cough is coming, do not suppress it. So now, if we do go off and he coughs, that people part like the Red Sea.
I was
around
about to
us.
say
So
that's a really good side effect. It keeps people the fuck away from you.
The chat is
Think about it.
freaking out,
Think about
asking
it.
if
We're
Ed's
both
okay.
We're both in masks and gloves, and I'm coughing, and people are scared to death of us.
Now
Oh,
let me ask
no.
you this: what if like you cough and your entire small intestine comes out of your mouth?
That won't be happening anytime soon.
Okay, so we're safe on that front.
I think we are.
Okay,
I'm
I'm just imagining like a clown with.
has my liver come up out of my throat. So
I'm just imagining
think-
like a clown with scarves, but like with the small intestine instead. You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Although I was wearing I was going to Kroger, and so I was wearing a mask and gloves, and I had someone at a red light come up to my car, pound on my window and yell, "It's a hoax."
What the
Jesus.
fuck?
That's the only weird side.
Don't
effect
believe
during
them, man.
I've seen videos of crazy people at like gas stations just coughing on people to be assholes, and that's pretty.
It made me
Pretty
super.
shitty.
It made me really sad, just because I'm like, you're gonna
I'm really
That-
glad coughing on people right now is considered an act of terrorism because fuck
I am
those
too.
people.
Yes, no, it absolutely should be, because right now the scariest thing is that nobody knows how this is going to affect them. And if they do it to like God, goodness forbid, maybe they think it's funny, but they're showing that there are a lot of asymptomatic carriers. Like 60 people just I think the other day donated blood in Italy because they had never caught coronavirus, and so they were healthy and they thought, I need to give blood because all these people need blood.
Right.
But it turns out their blood had the antibodies for coronavirus, which means that they caught it and did not even know that they had it because of how little it affected them. So if you are going out and coughing on people for laughs or a joke, you could be giving it to someone like Chris who's severely immunocompromised.
Damn, that's crazy. Good to know.
100% terrorism.
But it is interesting that one of the things my hospital is doing, they got FDA fast tracked for a technique that has been around since swine flu.
I think before
Yellow fever.
Yes.
Since yellow fever. And that is they are getting blood donations from. I see the
My
sleepy
cat
bed.
is sleeping under the laptop. Our laptop's on our bed, and he just kind of moved it, and I saw an ear under.
He's all nice and warm.
They are getting blood from people that have had it, and then doing like a platelet transfusion where they add those platelets into the bodies of people that are is done.
You're cutting out a little bit for me.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Shoot.
It could be the internet. Is it the internet?
It
about
might
now?
be your internet. I think you're good now. Speak a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, they're getting blood donations from people that have been known to have it, and then doing platelet transfusions into people that are severely sick with, in hopes of building up the antibodies within them. And it's a technique that's been done, like I said, since the yellow fever, and with great success. And they're hoping that they'll have success with this. I haven't heard any results since, but heard about that late last week.
Oh, okay, interesting.
That's really interesting. Good to know. I hope we can find some way to start like combating this. More
Yeah, that would
effectively.
Also been
make
hearing
things a
just
lot
good
easier.
stuff coming out of the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota.
Yeah. An antibody test. So,
antibody test.
which is just as important because it'll prove who had it already, and that kind of opens you up to be a blood donor to help with other therapy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Ed, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive. Why,
Everybody's
what's up?
worried
'Cause
about
everybody in the chat is just constantly screaming Ed.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
All
they're
they
like-
care about is Ed.
they think you're dead. Yeah.
Well, if he didn't have anything to add, then he doesn't have to talk.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to say anything about coronavirus. Just you look at the professionals. I don't feel comfortable giving you any advice because I don't know jack, and I have a lot of very strong opinions, some of which are political about it. So I'm just not saying anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
that's
I get
fair.
that.
Yeah, just play.
I am so sorry for spamming it. I was like totally. I have been terrified about it.
No,
for a
it's
while.
good.
understandable
like
for
this,
you
like
guys,
stuff like this is what we have to
especially.
do to get people's minds off of it. So I'm just trying to let you guys say your
Yeah.
piece and then be done with it.
Yeah, we'll get
Right.
off of this soon. But anyway, everybody out there, stay safe.
Yeah,
And-
stay safe.
Please do.
Moving
I just made a zip in my lips a movement, but I realized no.
here, moving the topic a little bit. We got a question from Posh Aussie who asks, how fun was it to voice Cherri, and how do you feel about her as a character, Krystal?
Oh, it was. Well, I mean, I never want to be disrespectful to any role, but it was one of my favorite things to do in the entire world.
Aw.
And it was, and it holds a very, very special place in my heart because I really, really care about everyone who's involved with the project, and I met some of the nicest people in the world through Has Been Hotel, so it's always gonna be like I choked on an ice cube.
Oh no.
I'm not sick.
That's what you get for it not being your favorite thing in the world.
I don't like I said, every role is special to me, but Cherry Bomb is so special because of the people that I met.
Aw.
So it's one of those things that I'm always going to like hold so close to my heart because I met a lot of people that I consider like my non-related family through it. And then as the character, I think I love playing someone who is so much cooler than me, because in real life I'm kind of a wet blanket, but in that
true.
I'm not. So it's like, yay.
Yeah.
That reminded me. Okay, so I don't think I am crazy, but I don't think I'm crazy. I swear
Hold
I
on,
remember.
this is actually a request, I think.
Is it?
Someone did request this.
Okay, cool. I'm not crazy then. All right.
I will mention it right now. So Kaylin Thompson actually asked Krystal. They say, "Are you excited or nervous about the fact that Cherri is Australian? And could we hear a little bit of you doing an Aussie accent?"
I didn't imagine that. Okay, cool.
Oh. Okay, I am so excited because I love dialect work. And so I'm always doing different accents, and Australian and British RP are two ones that I practice.
Wait, I don't want to derail this, but is that true? Because I was not aware of this.
Apparently, Cherri's Aussie.
I think when we were, I remember hearing
During
that
the
'cause
Australian
I was listening
stream.
to a HuniCast when I was waiting for something, and yes, so I think I did hear that. I'm super excited at the prospect of doing more dialect work because that's always something that I like to do. I just did an audition where I had to do I had to do Australian. I do 9 different accents, and I was in hog heaven. In terms of hearing, I don't know whether that is just her nationality or whether they plan to change that to an accent, and I always like to give that up to Viv and don't like to create headcanons that she doesn't approve of. So I would wait. I might do it next time, but I'll have to ask Viv.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But yeah, I had the thought. I'm like, wait, wasn't it revealed at the end of the Australia stream that Cherri's Aussie now? And so yeah, I wanted to bring that up. But it's so cool. I can't wait to hear that someday.
Right, mate.
Right, mate. All right. So next up, we've got Noah Arts, another Alastor request. Could we get more Cajun accent Alastor?
Cajun accent Alastor?
Yep.
I suppose.
So it would just be Alastor exaggerating himself, is what they're asking.
Essentially.
I suppose. I feel like he lost the accent when he went to hell, though, or he didn't have because you're from Louisiana and you have like no accent.
You know, I mean, when I was younger, I had a bit of one, but no.
I feel like when Alastor moved to hell, he probably lost.
Are you
it.
able to kick back into the accent, Dave, or have you just like lost it pretty much?
I can. If I talk really lazily, I can do it. Because actually, the Creole dialect is just a very lazy dialect. So it's more just like, yeah, we're gonna go up there. We're gonna go see what we're doing. It's pretty much that, and then the Cajun dialect is just a form of French. So
yeah, they like mix in French words and French placements and things of that nature. It's almost like if you were to speak in a French accent and a Southern accent at the same time.
It was weird because, and this has nothing to do with anything, because obviously Viv had her characters made before any of us got involved with the project, right? But it was weird though when she said oh yeah, one of the main characters is a radio guy from Louisiana, and I'm like, that's really weird that you hired me on to help you write this then, because that's what I am. I went to school for audio engineering and radio, and I spent my whole life in the dirty South. So
what you're saying, Dave, is that you are Alastor.
No,
not a serial killer yet.
Technically, yes.
That would probably stop a lot of the love of Alastor if I was
Speaking
Alastor.
of stopping, you stopped. You dropped for a second.
Oh, did I drop?
You dropped literally as you said stop.
If people knew if there was an
Atticus requiring the running water.
if there's an alternate universe where I voiced Alastor instead of Ed, he would not be as popular. I can guarantee you that.
I agree. I would not be nearly as popular if Dave voiced Alastor.
Exactly.
Dave, you did do scratch audio for Alastor for the boards, right?
I did. I mean, because Viv and I did some of the voice direction with Ed, and we kind of did a mock-up to show you what we wanted, and you nailed it. But yeah, there's some boards from old lines that aren't used where I do the voice, and it just sounds like Charlie Chaplin on Quaaludes.
I've got a friend that's from Louisiana, and he born and raised back in the Bayou, and he decided he was going to go to school for theater. And he got there, and his dialect was so thick, the teacher could barely understand him and said,
Oh
"Look,"
yeah.
said, "you can't do a thing until you go to speech therapy." And he was originally offended, but he told me, he said, later I realized that was the greatest kindness that teacher could have done for me. And now he speaks flawlessly, but can immediately revert back into a deep, deep Creole.
Oh yeah, Chris, I got a buddy from high school who straight up, if this is not the most down south name, we straight up call him Big Timmy. And he's just a very large guy named Timmy. He's the sweetest guy in the world, but he has the thickest, like, yeah, man, come on over. We gonna get them pigs and drink some of that Mike's Hard tonight. Like straight up, like as thick as you can imagine.
I love
But
him.
He's
don't
genuinely
know
the
him, but I
sweetest
love
guy in the
him.
world, though.
That's
Let's
so
get
cool.
some Big Timmy fan art going, even though no one knows what he looks.
People gonna go in that theater.
Chat, tell us what you think Big Timmy looks like.
Big Timmy. I just
There you
imagine
go.
like Big Timmy Turner for some reason. That's literally the first thing that comes to my mind.
Oh,
no!
God. That actually happened in an episode, though, didn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
He was all fucking fat and balding.
Oh, I
Do
was
not
just
fucking
no.
stop. They're
I was just thinking of like an upscaled, like huge Timmy Turner, regular size.
No,
just big.
no, these fuckers are spamming thick Timmy, and I hate it.
No! God damn it, chat! Behave!
This is a real life person I've shared a relationship with.
Well, now
And
his
you
name is
ruined
Thick
it.
Timmy.
Oh my god, my
So-
name's gonna be
someone-
jump out the window.
Someone
in
in
a
the
second.
super chats just said Alastor versus the Joker. I don't know. I don't know who would win.
Which Joker?
Which Joker?
It does depend
It
on the
does depend.
interpretation of Joker, I suppose.
No,
C-
it
Cesar
really does.
Romero.
Guys, Joker is but a man. Alastor is a god.
That's very true.
Yeah.
With but a snap of his fingers, Joker would be
Oh
out of
my
existence.
god, Kennedy. No.
Kennedy just sent a picture of his interpretation of Big Timmy.
Yeah, that's my boy Tim. That's him.
That's Tim. That's our boy. And then we have a question from Omo is Lit where they're asking for everyone's opinions on Beastars if they've seen it.
It's so
either
fucking
from your
good.
perspectives or the characters of your choice.
I've only seen that one infamous scene because people keep putting it on Twitter.
There's a few infamous scenes. Is it?
The rabbit blowjob.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
That-
Yeah,
Don't
Is
worry.
that a thing?
it's a thing
Don't-
apparently.
Beastars
worry
is very
about it.
horny.
Haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
Did you guys say rabbit or rabid?
Rabbit.
Well, I guess
Bunny.
I mean, she's
it's all
rabid
in-
for that.
Whoa,
That
hey.
is two very different shows in my head right now.
Yeah, one of them is Beastars and then Porn Stars. So
Oh,
There's not
Okay.
much of a difference, really. But no, Beastars is super.
Yeah.
Beastars is really, really good. It's about a bunch of anthro characters that are in high school, and so it's furry and about teenagers, so of course they're gonna be horny and fucking.
Despite it
it's-
being in high school, it feels more like college because
It
it has
really
like dorms
does.
and stuff. It
Yeah.
feels a lot like a college campus.
well, it's like a oh god, in like England they have the like not the boarding school, right? That's what it would be.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a boarding school, I guess. That's what they have in Beastars. It seems like.
If
But
you
yes,
don't,
so
know
I watched parts of the first episode because it got referenced for something, and I couldn't watch it.
Mm.
Oh no, Ed! No, it's so.
I couldn't watch.
good.
I watched it, and I was like, okay. So first of all, I watched the dub because I'm a dub guy, and I couldn't watch it, and I feel awful, but I couldn't watch it.
I
Was-
mean,
was
it's
the
not
art-
for
the art-
everybody.
The art style drove me crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
the
fair.
The story never gripped me. I'm like, what? This is like every other anime with just animals, and I just couldn't.
I think it's a really good drama, and I personally loved it a lot. But if other people don't like it, I totally understand it. Like, especially
so I
the
feel like
fact that
Beastars
it's
is one of those. I feel like it's going to be like Breaking Bad, where everybody kept telling me to watch it, and because it was so overhyped, by the time I sat down and watched it and was like, "I'm 7 episodes in. When does it get good?" Oh, season 2. I'm in season 2. When does it get good? Oh, season 4. I'm in season
Wait,
4. When is
I
it good?
actually-
Oh, just stick to the
you
end.
don't like Breaking Bad either?
No,
I think
no.
I think Breaking Bad is a very good show. I think it does a lot of things great. It's just for me, I feel like the hype does not match up to what I actually saw. That doesn't mean it's bad, but in my personal opinion, I
When
was
things
not a
get
huge fan of
overhyped,
Breaking
I
Bad.
actually agree with Ed because I was the same way where everybody told me to watch this show about this teacher who cooks meth. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's okay. And then it got better as it went along, but it wasn't amazing right out the gate. Like,
I don't think it did anything revolutionary. The minutia of the day to day, I was like, this could have been 5 seasons instead of 7. I didn't need to know all the stuff in between. I thought the acting was phenomenal. I thought everybody was cast appropriately. I thought it was really, really well directed. It just didn't live up to the hype, and I think that's one of the biggest detriments to some of these shows is they get overhyped before people have a chance to sit down and watch them.
I will say I love Better Call Saul.
That's
I do.
what we
I,
were
I,
gonna
about
say.
to say.
I like it more
I
than Breaking
did-
Bad.
I waited until this year to watch Breaking Bad, and because the hype
Same here.
annoyed me, and I ended up loving it. But I loved Saul Goodman. Then I watched Better Call Saul, and I liked it 10 times more than Breaking Bad.
It's real.
Like,
I'm watching the newest season right
Me
now.
too.
It's
I
really
love
good.
My trial earrings are the same ones that Kim has because
Oh,
they feel powerful. But I love that show with a fiery passion, and Saul Goodman is everything to me.
We still need
So
to start
get-
Better
get-
Call
to
Saul.
me, they took the 3 most interesting characters from Breaking Bad
Bob,
and gave them their
Gus.
own show.
Saul is such a good character. Fucking
Saul,
spin-offs,
Mike, and Gus are the
spin-offs-
3 most interesting characters to me.
Mhm.
Spin-offs very rarely work, so it's amazing that Better Call Saul actually like pulls it off.
Also, my all-time favorite sketch show is Mr. Show, where Bob Odenkirk like originated from. So,
Really?
just-
I've
yeah,
never-
oh yeah,
I didn't
oh
know
it's
that.
so good. If you guys haven't seen
I've never
Mr.
heard
Show
of
on
it.
HBO, it's so good. It's with Bob. It's Bob Odenkirk and David Cross's sketch show, and it's where also like Tom Kenny was a member of it. Like a bunch of people like were, and it's so funny. And every single episode, all the sketches like flow right into each other.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how they do it.
But
Huh.
almost better than Breaking Bad. I can't remember whether it was on Saturday Night Live or where it was. Have you guys seen my Super Sweet 60?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's Bryan Cranston's 60th birthday,
Oh,
Oh.
and it's got all of them in it, and it is
Oh, okay.
it's almost better than the entire show Breaking Bad. I love it.
It's a spoof on
I
those
thought-
Sweet 16 party shows.
Yeah. I thought El Camino was good too. The Jesse
It didn't
Pinkman
grab
movie.
me at all.
I could. It was so slow, but okay, you were like out like how many days out of a transplant? Like 14.
I was probably maybe a month.
So you don't get to have an opinion because you were high on the good stuff.
Whoa.
I still thought it
Whoa. So I don't
Very
mean to be
true.
disrespectful, but I think when you fucking get your lungs replaced, you get an opinion on whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that
I was gonna say-
I definitely think that's fair.
yeah.
You basically
It's
go to
all good.
death's door and go,
I
hey,
really
by the
was-
way, Grim
I
Reaper,
really
go
was on
fuck
the
off.
really good stuff.
okay, so like it was the day after his transplant. You called me crying
Yeah,
because you realized how much you loved me,
yeah.
and we've been together for so long, but you didn't know whether I liked Thanksgiving turkey or turkey sandwiches better.
I did.
That is
And so-
adorable.
That was very important to me at the moment.
That was the first thing he told me. That he never got
Aw.
to ask me whether I prefer turkey in turkey form or sandwich form.
And that is why he is a keeper.
He is.
That's fucking precious. But anyway, to go way back to Beastars, people should watch it, even if it's overhyped.
Okay, good. So
Also-
here's the point I'm going to make about the animation. This is what drove me crazy, and I think I had somebody explain it to me. You probably know it better because you're actually an animator. But apparently in Japan, the way they animate the frames is like every fifth or something like that.
it's every
so
third.
it has every third.
Or-
So it has this
yeah.
really choppy, like very stylistic thing. And Beastars, if I'm not mistaken, is all CG. So when you computer generate stuff, there's no drop frames. The computer basically animates all 30 frames. So they went in and cut out specific frames so to try to give it that same effect. And it just looks really choppy and weird whenever anybody moves. And it just drives me crazy.
Yeah, that is a method that CG animation is still trying to perfect. I think the one instance where they do it damn near perfectly is in Spider-Verse. Because Spider-Verse, most of the animation is in 12 FPS instead of 8 FPS, which is most anime is. And And what they would do is crank the FPS up to 24 whenever there would be a lot of action. But otherwise, everything was in 12, and it makes it feel a lot more 2D instead of 3D. Because one of the things that bothers me about CG animation is when it is like in perfectly smooth 24 frames per second when it's trying to imitate that traditional animation style, because nothing you see that is hand animated is ever in 24
Here's my
frames per
question.
second.
Take a movie like Zootopia, which is also done in CG. Like, so that there are no frame drops in that. Everything is smooth. Like,
that's all 24 frames per second. Yeah.
Right. So when they're making Beastars, if I'm not mistaken, they're all computer generated models and rigged, right? They're not actually hand drawn on a computer.
Yeah, there's certain elements that are hand drawn, but most of the time the characters are fully 3D.
So that when you rig the model and basically go from this frame to this frame, like, it's all that information is in there. So they would manually have to go in and edit the frame so that you're getting the frame drop that you would normally have in traditional animation in Japan to give it that effect, which is really weird when you already have it.
Yeah, and I think in their case, what they did is they just exported it at 12 frames per second and then would crank up the frame rate depending on what was happening or lower it down. And I think the points where they lowered it down even further than 12, they did do 8 frames per second a lot, especially in the dialogue scenes. I think that is really jarring because they're such fluid characters. That it's not quite perfect. If you like the studio, but you want to see a better example of CG anime that they've done that looks, to me, damn near perfect, is Land of the Lustrous. It was the anime that the same Studio Orange, did before Beastars. And what they did there was all the characters are CG still, but the faces, more often than not, are traditionally hand-drawn animation. And it really, really sells it, because one of the most jarring things about CG anime, or just CG animated characters imitating 2D, is that their faces never quite look right. So if you can map 2D animation onto a 3D character's face, it helps to sell it a lot more, because you're not going to be so jarred by the bodies of the characters being 3D. It's specifically the faces. And that's my rant. Just the only animator here. But I'm really curious.
Thank you, animator person, for giving us lecture that none of us comprehended.
I'm really curious to see what they do with season 2 of Beastars, because I think they're on a really good track with it. Like, I think they did a phenomenal job. There are some things that are very jarring, and if it's too jarring for people to get into it, I totally understand that. It is very different. Like, I don't mind CG animation imitating 2D, but I cannot watch The Dragon Prince. Like, it gives me a headache. They cut out way too many frames, in my opinion, in Dragon Prince, so I can't even watch it. Like, even though I'm sure the story's fun and the characters are great, like, the animation bugs me. So, like, I totally get it if other people are bothered by that.
What's Dragon Prince?
It's a Netflix series.
It's by, I think, one of the guys who created Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's a
Now
Netflix
I'm
animated
of, like,
series.
Ye Old Tiger King.
Yield. Oh my god. Have you seen the new Tiger King documentary?
I don't want
No, that's what I'm thinking of, but now I'm thinking of, like, Tiger King just in the medieval era, Dragon Prince.
That bitch, Karen Baskin.
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
Carol
I
Baskin.
watched one episode of that doc and we gave up.
I liked it a lot, but it's really fucking trashy. It's literally nothing but
I think the
fucking
only reason
wrong.
I think the reason why it stayed number 1 is literally just because everyone's at home right now.
Everybody's stuck at home.
My problem is that, and you'll forgive me, but it's like baby's first cringe documentary to me.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, I
Anyone
totally see
wants
that.
one that is 100% not cringe, and
Oh my god.
I feel so bad for recommending it because I cried so hard during it. But I'll just say it's got a very satisfying ending, and it shows you both the worst and the best of humankind. It's called You Don't F with Cats.
Oh,
That
I
is
love
really good.
that
We watched
documentary
that
series.
a few months ago. That
It
was really
is-
good.
like I said, it shows you the absolute worst and best humanity has to offer. It was disturbing. It was horrible, but it shows how people come together when they believe something's right. And it is just
Yeah, and
fascinating.
it's amazing to see just how many good people like outweigh the bad, especially
Yes.
in that like so many wonderful people worked their asses off. And that series is really, really good. I think what I liked about Tiger King specifically is the ending where they talk about, hey, you just watched this whole documentary with all of this like drama and all this fighting. Name one cat that benefited from literally any of this.
Thank
It basically says like all of this
Well,
is
that's
fucking
good.
stupid. We need to focus on the animals, not the people. And I was like,
All right,
that's a
I
really good
appreciate
message.
that. I appreciate
like,
that.
It shows
I,
you all of these people and it gets you really wrapped up in it so you understand like how these people get so self-obsessed and so self-absorbed that they forget about the animals, just like you kind of forget about the animals through the course of the documentary. So it kind of brings it all home at the very end and it's like, hey, help these big cats.
Well, one thing, I've got one compliment that there was a show that I was involved in that helped a lot and donated a lot of money to animal rescue, and one of our sponsors was Big Cat Rescue, and they did a wonderful job educating people about animals in the show.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
and so they actually helped fund the show. That the sales of it went to animal care and animal rescue. So they care very, very much. It's just it was an insider look into the kind of drama that is underneath every single, like, no matter what
Everything.
industry you are in, no matter what group you are in, there is some crazy drama.
Somebody asked us to describe it, and Krystal put it very well. She said it's like a real life Best in Show. If you've seen the Christopher Guest film Best in Show,
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
I've
I
never seen
haven't.
it.
real life. It's about people that do dog shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've
And-
what was it we were watching about cat shows? We were watching something
Oh,
about
there's
cat
a
shows.
really wonderful
Cat
documentary.
People!
Yeah, Cat People is such a good documentary series. It's so like
I
just
think we talked about this on a HuniCast a long time ago, actually.
it's so heartwarming and just fun
Actually,
and
you
wonderful.
know what was amazing was on my way back from the Has Been Hotel premiere, I was on the plane with people coming back from a big cat show. And you know me, so I just did not stop talking. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then
That sounds like heaven.
And then at the end, they were picking up their kitties, and I got to see them.
Oh, babies.
Another good documentary Krystal told me about that is kind of like a better version of Tiger King is by Werner Herzog, and it's Grizzly Man.
Oh,
Have
I
you-
think
have
I've
any of
been
you seen
meaning
that?
to watch that one. It's about
That's
the Grizzly
fascinating.
West
On-
rescue
on
guy, right? Or
TV.
was it the documentarian that used to go out and film grizzlies?
Both, actually.
Okay.
There was a documentarian who would go out and film grizzly bears. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us, and so it was Werner Herzog doing a documentary about the documentarian, using footage, a combination of footage that he collected and a combination of footage that the documentarian collected.
Okay, that's interesting. Also,
it's very,
we
very well done.
we are very derailed. We should probably get back to some more voice requests.
Absolutely.
We
People are
have
tuning in going, what the
we have the
hell?
worst collective
I've
ADD.
seen I've seen a lot of chat messages just like screaming for requests. We've
Yeah, I told them to stop demanding shit.
oh shit. Here's the thing. We made requests free via Twitter. If there's Streamlabs donations, we do you want to explain that, Ashley? You round up the top 3 as like a guaranteed request, but we don't.
Yeah, and I had that explained like in the description down below. So if you want all that info, you can read the description.
And we'll
Also,
if
can
we
I
see,
can I
yeah,
can I
go for it.
talk to this crazy chat right now because there's 8,000 people here
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, man.
that are now. All right, so we talked a little bit earlier about what's going on in the world. So I want to say this to each and every one of you, and anybody who listens to this later that comes to a HuniCast, especially right now. The most important thing is to take care of yourself. So if you are throwing money of any denomination at us, number one, realize it doesn't guarantee anything, and number two, make sure you're thinking about what's going to happen when you need that money in a couple months. So I want to make sure that everybody is clear and has some kind of a budget in mind. We appreciate every single cent that you guys throw our way, but the most important thing is to take care of yourself and the people around you, like your family. So please, please, please make sure that if you're donating, it's not going to come back to haunt you in a couple weeks or a couple days or a couple months or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
One of my
that's just
favorite
kinda my
things to
piece.
say is do not set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm.
Exactly.
that's a good. No, yeah,
I
and
don't-
look, it's
I
not
don't
like
know what
obviously.
I don't know what that means. Why would you set yourself on fire?
It's cold.
No, but for real, like Ed's completely right. Like we do appreciate you guys donating and being here, but don't put yourself into a situation where you donate some money just for some request and then you need toilet paper or groceries at the end of the week and you're like, oh, I'm fucked. Don't put yourself into that situation.
Please don't ever put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, always put yourself first.
So that was my PSA, and now whatever request you were going to do, go for it.
Yeah, let me check and see. So we have let me find one. This is for Cherri, actually. Let me find this. So it's from Alexander Leach. It says, "Love this podcast. They're always hilarious. My request is for Cherry Bomb to say this. Our first actual voice request. Hold on.
Okay.
Here.
Is
this.
it hello? My name is Cherry Bomb. Haha.
Yes, it is actually. No, it's that I just typed, and they say Krystal did a great job with her. Keep it up.
Okay. I see it. Okay. If someone calls me a Buffy stand-in one more time, I'm hitting a home run.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Also, I think there was previously there was that request asking about dialects in Australian. Do you want to give a little showcase of what you can do as far as like an Australian accent goes? Maybe just for fun.
I'm going to ask Viv first because I don't want people saying, "Oh, it should be like this or this," because since it was broached, it could be canon, could be not. So I'm going to ask Viv, and if she gives the okay, I will totally do it next time.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
unfortunately, as we've learned, that anything, even jokes that are like made about any characters, these freaks take as canon.
Oh fuck.
And
Yeah.
That's not freaks at all. It was the top. It's completely normal.
That's
the top
just
is
Dave.
broached,
they
and then I'm
know
talking.
it's just me. They know that. They know I love them.
Crystal's way
but,
too sweet of a human being.
Don't call them
That's
freaks.
very true.
Viv is a good director, and I respect her.
Krystal, you're too precious for this world.
Aw. Speaking of accents, we also have a request from Nuka Creeper 76 asking me, Ed, Dave, and anyone else that wants to try their best Irish accent.
Oh god.
All
Imagine,
right.
do you want northern or southern?
Oh my god, well...
Chris just fucking chiming in, fucking one-upping
I'm a
all of
dialect
us.
guy.
You
I'm a
are.
dialect guy.
All right, you know what? Can I do I'm gonna throw it back to the 70s, and I'm gonna do. It's me, Uncle O'Grimacy. We have the Shamrock Shake. You know,
That's so beautiful.
Grimace,
man. I want to cry.
Grimace had a cousin.
He absolutely did.
Yeah, named Uncle O'Grimacy, and you could find all the commercials on YouTube, but they're all from like the really early 80s, like late 70s on
The
bootleg
green shakes.
VHSs.
Shamrock
Yeah.
green shakes.
And I had a Shamrock Shake for the first time in my life this year.
Holy shit.
And, yeah, because I was driving for Uber Eats and somebody ordered a Shamrock Shake, and then halfway through they canceled it, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let this go to waste. And I tried it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually really good.
Dude, Shamrock Shakes are like fucking cocaine. They're so good. All right,
Dude,
Michael,
they had a Shamrock Shake at McDonald's recently that I tried. It was okay. It was McDonald's. So
Michael, do you want to try your Irish accent?
Unfortunately... Fuck! I cannot do...
Just copy Jacksepticeye's. Just
No.
Septispice, you
What do you want me to say? Top of the morning to you, laddie! I cannot... I've not studied Irish accents.
Irish accents are hard.
I am not a dialect guy. So I absolutely...
Top of the morning to you, laddie.
Top of the morning to you, laddie. I'm not a dialect guy. I don't know where to begin with an Irish accent. That's something I have to like study intensely.
Ed, do you want to give us an Irish accent?
Sure. There be a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
No, I need you to sound more dead inside.
Wait, no, I got it.
There be a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow.
You sound like
Ashley,
Plinkett.
I want to try again.
Do it.
Crikey, there's a dingo.
Oh God, beautiful. Well done.
There's a bingo.
Ed is so much better at sounding dead inside than I am.
Which is
he's a
impressive because you're the
natural.
one that's dead on the inside.
It's very true. Like every time we've hung out, I've always wanted to die. So
Oh Lord.
I took all of his money, and it was a pretty penny.
That's probably the closest
not gonna
we're
sing
getting to
Whiskey in the Jar.
Alastor's voice right now.
They wanted the voice, they wanted Irish, so there you go.
Oh boy. And then Zach Gearing has a
My
question.
Irish is so racist. Oh God.
I mean, when we do dialects, we don't know.
It also doesn't help that Chris is right here being like, do you want Northern or Sublin? Do you want Dublin? Do you want... I'm like, oh, fuck you.
I actually worked with a girl one time who, if you said dialect, she would literally say, what region?
Jesus.
So,
She
Chris, you
literally-
probably
she
know who...
literally
Do you know who...
nailed every friggin' region.
Hey, Chris, do you know who Barbara Rosenblatt is?
No.
So she's an audiobook person in New York who's also done some work on like Law and Order and other stuff. But she came and taught a class with Pat Fraley, who I'm sure a lot of you guys know.
Right.
Yeah.
And at my college, and she basically said, what country do you want me to do an accent from? And so we were cheeky. We were like, do South African, because as you probably know, South African is this weird amalgamation of like British and other things. And it's just really hard to wrap. For those who don't know, Trevor Noah is from South Africa. And even his accent is kind of like not super thick. And then she just did it on the spot
Yeah.
Jesus.
in varying degrees of like thickness. And it was like, what?
Jeez,
Yeah,
Louise.
I loved working with Ian Sinclair because he's also a dialect guy. In fact, when he first hired me, he came running into a studio I was recording and he says, "You're the dialect guy from Houston." And I said, I am a person that does dialect work, but I wouldn't call myself the dialect guy. And yes, I'm from Houston. And he said, "I need Indian." And I said, India or American Indian? And he said, India. I said, Brahmin or Oxford educated? And he goes, okay, the fact that you realize there's a difference tells me you're probably the person I need. Please come and audition for me right now.
I've been rewatching Black Butler, and every time Agni comes up, I'm just like, ah.
So
It's
I see that terrifies me because the best I can do is that with like England and try to look smart is like, which British dialect do you want? But like with Indian, it's just, do you want him to be raised with the like British or American?
One
Like that's all I
thing
know.
that-
Like, do you want British Indian or American Indian?
One thing that I've been helping with, or that has really helped me with regional dialect, is for me listening
Living
to
with Chris,
it,
I know.
What? Oh.
Yeah, living with Chris, we get it.
No. One thing that's helped me is actually true crime podcasts from that region. You can choose the region based on a very famous crime, and that almost guarantees you that the accent that the podcast will be using is a conversational version of that accent.
That's a really good point.
So
Genius.
if you want, like, say you're doing Irish and you don't know where you want it, you look at some Irish crimes, find a famous murder from that region, then look for podcasts about the murder.
The IDEA is also another really good resource.
Absolutely.
It's the International Dialects of English Archives, and I think it was done by Kansas University.
Yeah,
I don't
his book is amazing.
Yeah, but basically what they had everybody do.
Paul Myers.
Yeah, they basically there's a passage of, I forget if it's a play or an excerpt from a book, but basically it has every vowel sound and change known, like,
diphthong and
period.
consonant.
So they have people read it in their natural dialects, and it's all degrees of intensity, and it's all people from the region. And so you can go in there and listen and be like, all right, I want somebody with a super thick this accent, or I want somebody with a super toned down accent. And again, every single country in the world, these are just people
it's an
donating.
incredible resource.
Yep. And I listen to that and I'd be like, I'll get as close to this as I can. But
That's
there are
kinda
people
what I
like
do. I
Chris who put
also
me to
listen
shame.
I also use films where they have native speakers speaking English.
Yes.
And I will just drill that. I'll record it and put it on an iPod, or I used to burn them to CDs and play them in my car if I was heading to an audition. And an interesting one that I do, I tend to take a dialect and I'll do a nursery rhyme or a Shakespeare monologue in that dialect. And make sure that I'm paying attention to consonants and diphthongs and my vowels, and not pay attention to the poetry, but pay attention to the music of the language. And I
That
was
is a
talking-
big thing. Like, for example, Irish has a very distinct musicality
has a
where
very
they're
distinct
always
little-
ending
as
up.
does Scottish.
Yep, Scottish
has a
too.
very distinct pattern. But like Ian Sinclair will we were talking about different techniques we use to warm up a dialect, and he will wander around the room and point out things and name them, and then put them together in a sentence using all of those words.
The biggest thing for me is remembering, and you'll know this from British, like just remembering which words they say that are not in any way like they say them in English. Like if you
Oh my
say
God.
garage in a British accent, you instantly lose all credibility. This is the
Absolutely.
garage.
Garage.
Yeah.
Aluminium.
Aluminium. And there's just
Stationery.
words like that where you
Stationery.
in English we don't even think about it. But like Chris, you know this if you study accents. Like every language has those.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Every single language does. And that's the quickest way to peg somebody that is faking a dialect is when they don't learn or realize those things.
Yep.
Do you want to know how to always tell somebody is from the southern United States?
How?
They wear a red
Anytime-
hat.
Anytime, shut the fuck up. Anytime a word that ends in O, it gets pronounced
Not
yeah,
everyone.
So, well, I mean, I've lived here my whole
Are you
life.
about to argue with the dialect guy, Dave? Don't do this.
I'm about
No,
to
no,
argue-
that is for the most part very true.
Oh, but no, because Virginia is super.
Virginia's super southern, but
like
Yeah.
Oh.
instead of it's an
like, well, for us, like, it's for example, I'm gonna get some sweet potato. Like
Yeah,
straight
potato.
up, like you say like it's just kind of a
yeah.
I guess it is a little bit lazy in
Yeah.
a way, but it's just kind of the differential.
Yeah, in Texas, it's either sweet tater or sweet tater. With that real hard R.
Sweet tater.
No,
Sweet tater.
depending on like if you're doing like southern or southern, like antebellum.
Yeah.
Either the word R is in everything.
Oh,
or
my
it
favorite
doesn't
thing is when
exist.
they're like,
The
"We
letter
need a
R.
southern accent," and I'm like, "You could not be like which one?"
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Like in Virginia, we say house and about and off, turn the light off. And
Oof.
everyone, when I moved to Texas, thought we were from Canada.
I remember when I first met his mom, I expect Texan, and instead of like hello, it's hello.
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 There's
Hello.
like an OU.
Yeah,
My
there's an
favorite is
OU
when people ask for
song.
a Chicago accent. I'm like, I once went in for a commercial where they specifically were like, "We want a Chicago accent," so of course I just spoke because
Right.
I have a very neutral Midwestern accent when I typically do stuff, but I'm from Chicago, so some of my isms are still in my language because I can't get rid of them. They're just there. I still call it the Sears Tower for God's sakes. So
Oh, absolutely.
I go into this thing and I the first thing I asked them, I'm like, how Chicago are we talking? Are we talking like Blues Brothers Chicago? And they were like, what are the Blues Brothers? And I went, oh, we're in trouble.
Oh,
Crap.
I went,
no.
we're in trouble.
The
And
one
sure
thing I
enough,
had-
by the end of that session, it was just a Midwestern accent, generic and plain.
The one thing I've had a lot of trouble turning off, and I've worked on it because I'm from Chicago too, is the A's. I remember the first
Chicago.
like large
Chicago.
role I had was in a mech anime. So words like action and battle
Action, yep.
and all of that was very common. And
Or
they're
even
like,
eggs. The
action.
eggs.
I'm like action, 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 and it didn't work.
I used to listen to this guy on the score. It's just, I'm just a regular guy.
Mhm.
It's like, oh boy, here we go. This is the Chicago accent right here.
Oh boy.
It's almost got a little bit of that Fargo Canadian like
Very,
lilt to
very
it.
close to Minnesota.
Very close to Minnesota.
Very-
In
very-
fact,
very
the,
close, very
nice.
Minnesota, the
There's a
Fargo one just
similar-
feels like it's more of a pinch nose sound.
Yeah,
As
that's
opposed to
true, that's very
Chicago.
true.
Action.
So you know how you guys were like really quiet and didn't understand a thing that I was saying when I was going off about animation?
I-
Now
I
it's the
figured.
other way around.
Okay,
I'm just
Ashley, I would
here,
like to
I'm
point
like,
out I
don't
understood what you were
understand.
saying.
There were people in
Actually,
the
I
chat
understood
asking
what
if
you were
I was
saying, but
okay.
when-
The table's turned.
But when there are smarter people than me talking about something, I try to shut up. It's hard for me, but I try to shut up.
I'm the same way.
Like when Chris starts to talk about an accent, I just need to shut up.
but I
Unlike
love hearing
Dave,
what
who
you have
starts
to
arguing with
there.
him.
Yeah, Dave is just like, well, let me tell you, Mr. Dialect person.
Oh, gee, it's almost like I live in the place he's talking about.
Fight. All right, Michael, get us back on topic. More requests.
Okay, We have not done a bunch of voice requests. We've mostly done like questions and I think one voice request. So the streams are like we've gone from 3 hours to an hour and a half, and so we're past the hour mark. So let's probably focus on voice requests since it seems like a lot of people want them.
Sweet.
So let's see. We got 2 requests here from Mama Luigi. The first one is not a voice request, but I'll have Dave quickly go through it, and then we'll do the voice request at that's the second part. So the
Why
first
do I
one,
have to do it?
it's not a voice request on your part. It's just they just
okay.
want you to explain something. They say,
Alright.
Dave, could you please explain Captain Lunch to everyone?
What the fuck is Captain Lunch?
Oh, okay. This is
What?
a good one. All right. So, Captain Lunch is the exact same thing as you all know the cereal icon Captain Crunch, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No.
Captain Lunch is exactly like Captain Crunch, except instead of bringing you Captain Crunch cereal, he just brings you lunch. So he's still a guy who's a captain of a ship. He has an L on his forehead. And instead of just bringing you a box of cereal, he just has a box full of just whatever you're going to have for lunch that day, whether it be a sandwich and some celery sticks, or perhaps some grilled chicken breast, whatever fancies you.
Okay, so what you're
Um,
saying is next time I get Postmates, that's what I should call my Postmates delivery
And
guy.
when he crashes through the wall of your house, ruining your foundation, he screams "lunchatize," as he would. And so that's Captain Lunch, and I expect there to be thousands of pictures of fan art of Mr. Captain Lunch.
Please. And the second request actually ties into that. They want Ed as Alastor to say lunchatize.
What is lunchatize?
I just fucking explained it.
He tuned out. You don't understand.
You absolute dimwit. I just explained it.
Sorry, I completely tuned you out. What is lunchatize?
It's a quote from the character Captain Lunch from this
Oh,
thing.
did Dave write this?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm not going to humor that.
that's fine.
Oh my god, Ed, do the thing.
Lunchatize.
I was about to
Thank
say Ed
you.
would actually have to have a sense of humor.
There,
to
I
humor
just
anything.
did it. I just did the read. Did you get it? Is it on tape?
We
No,
got
sorry,
it.
I wasn't listening.
That's cool. It wasn't for you.
God damn it. I have a cough now all of a sudden, so fucking laughing is painful.
Oh,
People
no.
don't. People think that Ed and I are just a bit, but we genuinely hate each other. So
Yeah, I literally saw him going to collect a Postmates. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just doing this so that I can survive." And I literally knocked the drink out of his hand and went, "Go get another one, you overabundance of jackassery."
I did laugh at that because you genuinely, to drop the bit, you fucking scared me. I was in the parking lot at Panda Express picking up an Uber order, and I just hear from across the parking lot, "You're not funny," and I genuinely
shit.
like. I had like what the fuck was that? And, oh, it's Ed. like,
Oh god, that's terrifying. I like how that's how he chooses to greet you.
that's fine. It's what I expect.
It's kind of your thing now, Dave.
Yeah, it's my thing on a career to try to be a comedian. To be
Also, I don't know
constantly
why this
told
chat
I'm
still
not
thinks that there's
funny.
something wrong with me. I don't understand.
There's nothing wrong with
He's
him.
just
He's
as dead
himself.
inside as he always is.
So
Oh,
like
shout
every
out-
HuniCast, he gets more and more dead inside, and I'm like, do I?
Real quick, shout out to Hinita Uzumaki who says Captain Lunch is the most genius thing in the world, Dave. I agree. Thank you.
I completely disagree.
Listen, it's going to be everywhere before you know it. The
Captain Lunch.
mascot of school lunches across America. Let's move on so I don't have to do this stupid bit anymore.
All right, it's done, Dave.
Next.
We got from Chris Bungle on Instagram. They ask if Angel
On Instagram?
on Instagram. We accept
Okay.
requests from Twitter and Instagram. I'm sorry, like there were. So how many replies do you think
Too
you got
many.
to your tweet, Ashley?
About to the tweet, I don't know, but I think there were about 1,600 comments on the fucking Instagram post.
Oh, that's not
Some
too
shit
bad.
Like that.
So
That's not too
let
bad.
let it be known that if you get your request read or your question read, it's
you are
it's-
unbelievably lucky.
because Yeah, we chose not to do Streamlabs requests right now because it's just a lot easier to get through stuff like talking and keep catching up with everybody, and just doing requests and filtering for quality and like just picking at random sometimes too. So that's why we haven't been reading as many requests. I'm sorry if everybody's been a little upset about that, but we're humans. We're just trying to have fun, and hopefully you guys are having a fun time as well, even if there's a little less voice requests going on.
Sorry, we had to stop doing so many voice requests, and I say we as the person who doesn't do any of them ever for sanity reasons.
You do some.
Never.
Anyway, here's a voice request. This is from Chris Bungle. They say, "Can Angel Dust say to Alastor?" You don't have to reply to this, Ed. They just want me to say this, unless you want to. It's just...
Oh my God, shut your narcissistic dear ass up!
Well, it actually fits because he doesn't have to reply to that.
Exactly. He doesn't have to.
I can't believe he actually did what Angel said for once.
Thank fucking God.
The silence is real. Okay. And then
Were you just waiting to see if a bit was gonna happen?
I was. Anyway, beyond that, we have from Omlime27. They ask if they ask the question, Ashley.
Oh wait, no! Oh no! I was watching you highlight that one earlier, and I was getting nervous, and I'm like, please highlight it so that you're deleting it.
I'm excited.
Oh.
It's just another fucking Ashley.
Well then fuck you.
Yeah, I was about to say you're not
there's
excited.
a second part to it. They want everyone to say Ashley, but we do that so fucking often. It's pretty normal, so I'll just scream it. Oh, Ashley!
Oh,
I screamed it at you
thank
from the distance.
Genuinely, Ashley and I have talked about this. Like the amount of money for me to do the Ashley thing would be too much for anybody to donate.
Dave will never do it. Oh no, Ashley.
I hate the whispers. I hate it.
And then the second part of this request is a skit between Cherri and Angel.
Okay, good. Let's do that.
So here's the little skit between Cherri and Angel. If you want to start us off whenever you're good, Krystal.
All right. Okay, I like that. Okay.
It's a cute
It's
one.
so cute.
That's funny.
Why are you looking at a picture of fat nuggets?
I look at it when I get sad.
But you're always looking at.
Did I fucking stutter?
That's a fucking mood. Krystal when she looks at pictures of Atticus.
I need it like tattooed on my wrist. That's when I look at pictures of Atticus. Just hello.
And then
Should I just get the word dad tattooed on my forehead?
Yes.
Is it like, are you gonna get it in the same style as the damaged?
Yeah, I was about to
tattoo?
say it has to be
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
font.
It's just gonna say dad.
Dadaged.
I actually want to get. I just found a guy in Texas, but now I don't know whenever I can do it. Who does non-fading watercolor tattoos, and I want to get an orange.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Ooh.
Because all of my
an
tattoos, I
orange?
actually don't have any more room for wrist tattoos, but all my tattoos are like either parts of or like going to be pictures that represent all my favorite quotes. Yes, someone just asked like just an orange, and yes, it would just be an orange, which is my favorite quote from Death of a Salesman, which is a man is not a piece of fruit you can't just eat, or a man is not a piece of fruit you can't just eat the orange and throw the peel away,
Very
which just
nice.
means that you can't use people for what you want and then discard the rest of them as not being worth anything.
Krystal,
That's
my
a really
one
good one.
my one tattoo so far on my right forearm is a jack-o'-lantern. So it's also orange.
We'll be orange circular produce buddies.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mine right now is from it's my favorite quote from V for Vendetta. because that like comic was my childhood everything. And I finally got one that said, "But within that inch we are free," which is my favorite quote from there, which is "Our integrity sells for so little, but it is the very last inch of us. And within that inch we are free," which means that, you know, our integrity is all you have. And since I'm right-handed, it reminds me to do everything with integrity.
That's
Aw,
sweet.
that's really
That
cool.
is sweet.
That is very sweet. We still need to get tattoos of Bon Bon's paw prints.
We do. Well, once the plague is fucking over, we can do that.
You were just talking earlier
Wait,
today
what are you
about
gonna do?
our cat Bon Bon that sadly passed a few months ago.
Oh
we
my
got
God.
her imprints.
Paw prints, you mean?
Or yeah, paw prints.
Yeah, we got paw prints taken of her, and so we're gonna get her paw prints tattooed on us.
That's so beautiful. I thought about that because they did that with my Nero when he passed away, and
Aw.
so now I've been doing one of Atticus every year.
Oh, that's
Aw.
sweet.
Yeah. Oh, Bomb Bomb was so good.
She was such a good baby, and now whenever our new cat acts up, we're just like, man.
Why can't you be more like Bon Bon?
Your predecessor was so much more well behaved, you piece of shit.
We were just talking about that because I'm sorry to detract again, but the one thing that I would never let Atticus touch was Nero's favorite ball. It was a little jingle ball. And
Aw.
then one day, and I put it on my desk. It's next to where I do all my work. With this little collar. It's like in the collar is closed, so it's like in the middle of the collar, so that it can't get pushed off the desk. And then one day I just hear ding 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 ding, like Nero used to play with it, and then Atticus was running around with it. So I put it back, and then I just kept hearing it. I'm like, he wanted him to have that, and now it's his favorite ball.
Aw.
So our cats know, and they watch our predecessors, and they laugh at how stupid they are.
Oh,
That's fucking precious.
yeah. All right, and then I have one more request from Twitter and Instagram lined up that is a voice request. And then from there, we'll probably skim through the super chats and what are we doing? The top 3 Streamlabs donations, or would that also coincide with?
We're doing the top 3 Streamlabs.
Would that also coincide with super chats, or are those?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Then from Natasha on Instagram, they ask if Alastor could please say this. This is the final Instagram voice request.
Oh, that's very Alastor.
It is.
I'll pay you a penny for your thoughts, and a quarter more to keep them to yourself.
Some good advice.
Basically what I tell everyone every time I see them.
Yeah. All right. Do you have Streamlabs booted up, Ashley?
I do have Streamlabs booted up, and I have set aside our
By the
top
way, I'm
3
going
donators.
to say this one more time for the chat so that everyone can hear, even the people in the back row. I'm okay. Stop posting about it in the chat. The poor mods have enough to deal with.
You're fighting a lost battle. You know that, right?
I'm not fighting a lost battle. There are 8,040 people in here, and I will fight each and every one of you.
I believe it
IRL. I will fight each and every one of you IRL. Final destination, no items, Fox only. Bring it.
Can we do a HuniCast where it's just Ed and I fighting on camera?
No, that's a terrible
every
idea.
HuniCast.
Yeah, because I kick your ass.
We all need to make a trip to Louisiana, go see our boy Dave.
I thought you were going to say we all need to go to Louisiana so we can beat up Dave.
We do.
That'd be all right.
No, that was the ulterior motive.
Donate.
Absolutely.
All right, so first up, our top donator is Nicole Shepard, and she asks, can I have Ed as Alastor say this in an angered and threatening tone? So let me copy and paste that. Oh good, you're not gonna copy and paste.
Thank you,
like
Streamlabs.
always do.
That's
You're
another
gonna have
issue.
to just type it out normally.
That's another issue with
No.
Streamlabs that we've always had is just it refuses to copy and paste.
Yeah, we'll figure that out someday. But anyway, I got it. Copied and pasted it.
I bet you did. All right, let's see. Oh, all right. So they want this to be angry or threatening?
Yeah, angered or threatening tone.
Okay.
The only reason you're even here right now is because of me. If I hadn't interfered, you would have suffered far worse than those demons have.
Ooh,
Definitely not a
Damn.
line.
that is a good line.
That is
Nice.
a
I
very
wonder
good
what that's
line.
from. Did they specify what that's from?
No, they didn't, but they said there was more, but there's a limit though. So I
Oh.
hope that small segment was good enough for you. All right, so the next one is
That
also
line is actually from my Alf fan fiction.
Oh
at the end.
shit. Man, I wonder where they got
Who said that? Did Alf say it? Did Willie say it?
Yeah,
It was Willie for sure.
Is it wrong that in my head, after every time I do one of these, I'm like, that was a stupid delivery. I should do that again.
I think that's just a fucking usual voice actor problem.
Gotcha. Okay, just checking. Anybody else? Am I alone in this? No? Okay,
No,
cool.
you're just stupid. It's fine.
Got. Oh, all right.
dude, no.
They're already worried about you. Don't sound so
every
dead
time-
inside.
Every
So I
time
sound
I
like an
do like
asshole.
a podcast or like some kind of voice thing, I immediately fucking hate my voice on playback. So
Well, I don't
Oh,
always.
God,
I'm
same.
not that person. I don't hate everything
life.
that I do, but
My
I'm
first-
extremely picky about like watching something or listening to something and going, "Yeah, that was good."
My first Wallace session, if you go deep into the mix, no person watching it will ever find it, is me crying, asking to be let out of the booth.
Oh, baby. No.
Okay, I've never.
my
You
mind.
have me beat. I've never done that before.
Oh.
The worst I ever did was strip down butt naked in a booth, but that was
Hold
it was hot.
on. What? Wait, hold.
Yep. Nope.
Why?
Totally did that.
Why?
I'm totally. No, I didn't do that. What is wrong with you? I'm trying to lighten the mood because apparently people think I'm not okay. So I made a
everybody thinks
joke.
you want to die or something.
Yeah.
Look, you're a fucking psychopath. I don't know what you would and wouldn't do.
I would never do that on camera.
Well, you just ruined a lot of fans' fan fiction.
No, I probably saved it.
All right, so this next one is also for Ed, and I'm gonna copy and paste it here so you can look it over real quick while we do the next one. It was sent in the form of an image, so I'll let you look that
Holy
over
shit.
while we read the next one.
Holy fuck!
What is this?
It's
Oh
another
my
another
God.
Vincent Price style monologue. So I
Who
feel
is
like
this for?
Is it just the
this is
highlighted
for the Emily 120. Or
No, but, like,
1,220.
who's doing it?
You.
What?
This is so long.
You gotta.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
hell?
I think-
Also,
I don't-
why does it have a
Pronunciation
bunch? It has a
guide.
bunch of fucking.
It has
names in here
notes. I don't think you have to do all of it, but if you want to like look it over and pick like a line or two, because that is super long. So if you want to
Okay.
look it over and pick a line or two, it's another Vincent Price monologue.
All right, here we
they-
go.
they-
I'm just gonna do a section of this right now, just real quick.
Okay, cool.
All right.
If I may put forward a slice of personal philosophy, I feel that man has ruled this world as a stumbling, determined child king long enough. And as his empire crumbles, my precious Black Widow shall rise as his most fitting successor.
I'm trying to think what
Ooh.
Vincent Price
Is that
role
one
is
from
in
one of the
from.
Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe films?
You know what?
I don't even know who those
You
people
know what?
are.
You might be right, Krystal.
It-
Actually,
It
That
says
just
here.
sounds like it.
It says here
No,
it's
it's not the
from
Fountain of
Alice
Worm, Lotus
Cooper's
Gallon. Oh, you're
Devil's Food.
I will say I appreciate them being an Alice Cooper fan, but yeah, I don't know.
Fucking Vincent Price dialogue fits Alastor really surprisingly well.
It does.
The best Vincent Price dialogue is the argument he has with his wife in House on Haunted Hill, where they're like sarcastically joking about how they both tried to kill each other in the past, and it's very funny.
Holy
Didn't
shit.
they already have me do Thriller?
Yeah, they did have you do the Thriller
I remember
monologue
that.
too. That one was really, really good.
All right, next.
I'm convinced the chat is shitposting with these. Are they okay? Because now they're asking if Chris is okay.
Chris
Where's
is
Chris?
fine.
Is he okay?
What?
They're like, oh, he didn't talk in 2 minutes. He must be fucking dead.
No, he was telling me because I was like, oh my god, I would love to get Corman films on Vudu, and he's like, I already got those for you last time you talked about it, baby. And I'm looking at
Aw.
Vudu and they're
Uh-oh.
You're looking at
Cut
Voodoo
out.
and what?
for the Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe films, they are some of my. Oh my god, I love them so much. So I was looking for the ones that I wanted because now I have nothing to
I only
do
got
with
about
my
3 or 4.
life.
Crystal, have you ever seen The Terror?
I don't
With
think
Ian
I have.
Karloff? With Ian
It's
Karloff?
a
Terror.
yeah. You got
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
It's where it's one of Jack. Also, it's Boris Karloff and one of Jack Nicholson's very first roles.
Yep.
But
I have not.
it was shot while Corman was shooting Edgar, and he had 2 extra days, so he just threw this movie together.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
So can I just say something because this just popped into my head? Do you guys know what TikTok is?
Absolutely. Unfortunately.
Okay, cool. So apparently this is a thing that exists in the world that I have avoided like the plague. But I have my friends text me every now and then going, it's really weird because there's a lot of Alastor on TikTok apparently.
There is.
And it's really weird
like-
to watch people do it, and they'll send me like videos of people in their cosplay.
Wait,
and it's just-
like cosplayers, not like
yeah,
like
like they
quoting the
dress up and then
streams.
do the lines, and like I always thought TikTok was for celebrities, and it's really weird.
There's a lot of TikToks out there that like quote our live streams too. So I'll see people like lip sync me, and I'm just like, this is surreal.
That's weird. Can we ban TikTok? Is that on the agenda?
No, I think they all do a wonderful job. Their cosplays.
Honestly,
and everything
man,
are
the downfall of
amazing.
civilization was allowing freedom of expression. Like we need to quell that now.
Is TikTok supposed to be like the new Vine? Is the idea is?
It
It's
started
kind of
out.
replaced Vine.
Ish,
yeah.
but now there is a new Vine. I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
nobody's using
Nobody
it.
uses it. Yeah.
I think
Which
my
blows
favorite.
my mind because people wanted Vine back, so use it.
I think my favorite use of TikTok is the fucking like teenagers that are bored that just record random shit happening around their fucking lives, and it's just so fucking random and funny. Like there's this one Italian kid who just records nothing but his very, very angry Italian mother yelling at him with a thick Italian accent, and it's so fucking good.
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boobidi.
Is Vine the one where the guy is talking about the Persian cat and he's like, "Ma, there's a weird cat outside."
I
Have you
think
seen
that's a
that one?
TikTok.
That's. I think you're confusing Italian and Jewish.
No, I'm not. It's New York, and he's like, "Ma, there's a weird cat outside."
New York doesn't
looks
narrow
like
it between Jewish and
grandma."
Italian. Have you been to New York?
I've not been to New York. Well, technically, I did get stuck in Queens for one night when a layover got canceled, and I didn't know, but I only saw the airport and I think an extended stay in America.
Also, true story. It's impossible to sound nice in a Brooklyn accent. I've tried.
No, maybe it's just impossible for you to sound nice.
That's true, but in a Brooklyn accent, it is impossible for anybody to sound nice. It always sounds like you want to fight.
You can't go, "I'm really happy you invited me over."
Dude, let me tell you, I really appreciate the fact that you got all these fucking cannolis. Like, dude,
I have
you
a
have
friend.
no idea how much I appreciate you.
I have a friend from Boston who literally just calls himself Boston, and we all call him Boston because he has the thickest fucking accent. And
What you mean, Boston?
Boston. And we'll always ask him, hey, Boston, say car keys and say khakis.
I could hear. I know Chris is being quiet, but I could hear him in his mind being go, that vowel was wrong. That was off. Why would you do that? That's wrong.
Khakis. But yeah,
Whenever
he
I want to
always-
get into a Boston accent, I'm like, dude, you want to get some dunks, dude? Tom Brady is the greatest fucking quarterback ever, and it hurts me to say, but
But
like,
yeah, whenever
that's my
Boston
key.
talks, he always
I was
sounds
gonna
like
say.
a little bit angry. Like it's just the accent.
Also, saying "fuck" in a Boston accent is the best because it's like "fuck."
Yeah.
Also, just speaking of actual good quarterbacks, Drew Brees gave $5 million to the CDC, and I was like,
Holy
Good.
shit,
Nice.
that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, somebody
Damn.
has to fund it.
right?
Also,
All right.
Ashley, before you do the last Streamlabs, I do have one super chat I want to read out because it was
Oh.
a very nice one. It's
Do
from
it.
Napa the Lovable, and they said, "You guys are amazing. I'm a
Aw.
part of the U.S. Armed Forces, and there are always ups and downs involved with being away from home. And I will admit that I use shows to help mitigate some of these feelings, and has been an amazing way to help keep up the good work. Thank you."
Aw, that's awesome, dude. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much
much
for
for your
serving our
service.
country.
Yeah,
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, to be serious, like one thing that I'm a big advocate for, like people who serve. So if anybody listening is current or former military, we really appreciate it, and you're
Big
fucking
ups
awesome.
to you.
Mhm.
So-
Same here. I've had family that have served for years, and I could not be more appreciative of our men and women in the armed services.
My dad was
Preach.
born on an army base, and that's actually not a bit about my dad. It's my real
Damn.
dad. He was actually
Wow.
born on an army base. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
That's crazy. All right, so to end us off, we have our final request from Shapherd. I hope I'm
It's
saying
not even
that right.
a request. I think it's more of a statement.
Well, fucking, you don't need to correct me. Fucking, it's. They sent a thing, and here it is.
Are you suddenly drunk? What
Also,
happened?
I love that our Discord is also giving commentary on this as the chat is giving it. Like it's great. Like every time I go back to the Discord, I'm like, there are people in here I don't know that are giving commentary on what we're saying. It's weird. It's like double chats.
I have a Discord server for these live streams, and like everybody who's ever been a guest just kind of tends to stick around, and so a lot of the time we'll just get the fucking peanut gallery fucking of previous guests.
Like we have somebody named after a video game. We have somebody named after what happens when you set stuff on fire and it burns to
I think I
dust.
super chatted you guys $2 once and just said you suck.
We just probably thought it was another fan. But all
I wish
right.
I could play music on this stream.
I can play
Let's-
music.
Oh no.
No, I said music. Music.
Last but not least, we've got Shapherd saying, been a fan since the pilot, but didn't know about HuniCast until about a month ago. So here's a donation for each one that I missed. Here's hoping I get to meet you all someday soon and never stop being awesome. Aw, well thank you, dude. I appreciate it a lot, and I'm glad you've been enjoying Has Been and the HuniCasts. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And oh, Ed needs to go take a nap. I guess we gotta wrap
No,
up.
you're just boring me. Get to the point.
Do more requests, Ashley.
We're wrapping it. Everybody's so mean to me.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
dude, the
everything that you
Cajun
do.
accent
You're
is
a really
Alastor.
inspirational person.
Everybody in real life bullies me, but at least I get to bully ugly villagers in Animal Crossing. I finally
I don't
have
appreciate
power
you talking
somewhere.
about my life like that.
You know who's not an ugly villager in Animal Crossing? Atticus, because I just looked and people have been drawing him as a villager.
Oh,
So
Oh, Ashley,
cute.
how do fan art features work? Are you doing them still, or are you just going to compile the art for the next stream to showcase? on the
We
next
are
one?
sorting that out. I think what I'm going to do is change up the fan art feature like box that's on the side and just feature like everything from the previous stream there. So we shall see. But yeah, I appreciate all the fan art, everybody, and everybody who donated. Thank you so much for supporting Vivzi's productions and also supporting our guests. And I also just wanted to say stay safe, everybody, and take care of yourselves. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all next time on the next HuniCast. And I guess thank you to our lovely guests for joining us today.
I guess.
Thank you.
Why are you
thank
so rude to us? No, like actually,
I
like,
learned
what
it
gives
from you.
Hold on, Ashley, shut up while I'm talking. What gives you the right? What gives you the right to think that you get to do anything?
Sorry.
Do you know how bottom of the food chain rabbits are? The only reason that rabbits are relevant right now is because apparently they suck dick and B stars. Apparently that's what they're
Yep.
good for. Sloppy
And apparently
blowjobs.
they're annoying in Animal Crossing.
So Ashley, all I have is one question for you. Can you confirm or deny?
By the way, I did want to say, because we were talking, I forgot to say this when we were talking about the B Stars thing, because they're in a boarding school, right?
Yeah.
So that like that classic Pink Floyd quote, if you don't beat your meat, you won't get any pudding.
Oh, that's fair. That's appropriate. That should be the tagline for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Because apparently that happens in this show. I am so glad that I didn't go past episode 1 because apparently it just turns into a furry porno.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming
for
on that
stopping
note.
by.
Thanks for coming.
Can I say something before you end the stream? Can I say something?
Yes, Ed. What do you want?
Okay. You're welcome to end it after this. But Alastor has a very special message for all of you, and I'd like to say it to everybody that stuck around till the end.
Ahem. In these trying times, I would like to remind everybody to do one very simple thing. Wash your hands! I'm already wearing gloves. I don't need to fucking wash my hands.
Remember, there's no
but, like,
hope
actually, guys,
behind
do
our
what he says.
currency.
But no, for real, actually wash your hands. Angel does take off his
wash your
gloves to
hands.
wash his hands. He washes his gloves. So yeah, wash your hands.
All right. And that'll do us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.